Hey, bald guys, you wanted more. We gave you more. With the all-new Pitbull from Skull Shaver, we gave it a more powerful motor, more blades to choose from, and a sleeker design that fits right in the palm of your hand. So you can shave anytime, anywhere, wet or dry, to get the smoothest shave possible with no nicks or cuts and be done in 90 seconds. For the best 5-minute home haircut, try our Beast Clipper for your hair and beard. Want more? Get more with the all-new Pitbull from Skull Shaver at skullshaver.com.
Yeah. That's how we gonna set it off? Oh, he put me to work early, huh? See? My high blood pressure is gonna rise. Yeah. Ness. Yeah. Skirt. The whip cost me $250. I put all the bells and whistles on this doohickey. True story, I came home to a new glizzy. When they put me on paper, I was too trippy. Now they wanna repost on my platform. Niggas see me outside, they wanna latch on. When I put that on my first and my last born. Growing up, all we had was Jimmy Crack Corn. They took that and upgraded the COVID, and they made it way stronger than the locomotive. They just play in your face and hope no one noticed. Everything that they show us be Mr. Bogus, but when I talk about the hood shit, get more views. You can stay behind the scenes and still make more moves. You can eat off my plate, I just get more food. Cause I'm cool with the Commonwealth in they courtroom. I got my mind right, bread right, running the red light. The BBW you want me to see with the headlight. Vacuum seal, my whole circle is airtight. The last thing you getting over here is a fair fight. Raise your hand if you're sure. I'm just giving them Old Spice. The watch slate way different under the strobe light. I remember eating leftovers whole nights, so I felt like Rocky Balboa my whole life. Wow, you walk around with your head in the crowd. Guess a nigga ain't pop up dead in a while. Everything that I'm saying ain't been said in a while. I can't come to your shows cause the feds in the crowd.
Easy. Now that's how you start the Devinwade Show.
Dev Nasty.
Oh, y'all got more flows for me?
Nah.
Yeah. I wanna wake up to a dick suck from a bad bitch with a big butt.
Hey.
Yeah, you heard me right. Herbalife, no lip for no nip tuck.
Whoa.
I wanna wake up to a Rolls Royce with an Aston Martin and a 62.
Come on.
A pretty coupe at the beach house with an Asian doll that'll get me through.
Hey, smoking the intro. Smoke the intro.
We never had nobody steal the intro.
Yeah.
He done stole the intro
Let's go.
to the Devinwade Show.
Yeah.
Yo, check it out, y'all. This is another episode of the Devinwade Show. I am your host, Dev Nasty, aka Dangerous Dev Nasty, aka Choke Your Mama, aka Choke Your Pop Out. And before I even introduce us or whatever, we might as well jump right to introducing the man that came through with the bars, stole the intro and all of that. We talking about battle rap legend of Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Ness is in the building.
Yes, sir, ski.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yo,
The Loch Ness Monster.
I thought I bent this. I thought I bent the freestyle in the beginning. Damn, he went in, man. What's up with you, Ness?
Porter beat me in like 2 best out of 3 out of 5 in Street Fighter, so I had to, start the show off right.
Okay. And you heard who he's talking about?
I'm on you.
Yeah.
He's
Pause.
talking about the Puerto Rican legend himself.
We got his energy right, man. Shout out to everybody. Listen, it's the people's champ, man. Listen, one thing for sure. Spitters, that's how you know a real MC, y'all. When anything just start coming on and a motherfucker just start demolishing whatever the fuck come on.
Yeah,
That's that's different. That separate this MC from a lot of MCs.
Yes, I love it. I'm just being in there so long. You just have to find. I fell in love with it all over again, because the music industry can make it bring you to a point where it separates the craft from the business, and then when one thing is good, then the other thing deteriorates. Like if you handling your business, then your craft deteriorate. But if you handling your craft, then your business deteriorates. So I fell in love with the music business all over again. Being a businessman, being a creator, being an entertainer, being a performer. And I sat out for 10 years being dormant, and I just watched everything go, you know what I mean, go down and being a consumer. And I wanted to know what that felt like. And, you know, 10 years later, here it is. To me, nobody's really did anything significant. So I felt as though.
Hold on, what you mean by significant? Talk about that. What you mean? What you mean they never did nothing significant?
I mean, as far as, you know, as legacy is concerned, like, you know, we all got our greats, and then we all got our under the greats. Like, you know what I mean? Of course, Drake. Of course, you know, Nicki, Wayne. But, like, as far as Jay-Z, Biggie, Nas, who's the next them? And nobody gave me that over the last 10 years. Drake was already in the game when I was still signed. So I don't count them. I don't count him, Nicki, Wayne. I don't count them three. But nobody has stepped up and really took it like, I'm the top seed. You know what I mean?
It's crazy that you say that, because I gotta like kind of like really
Disagree?
like when you think, I gotta like kind of like agree, because when I think about it, I just think about, I go to my music and my playlists, right? How I got like albums in my playlists,
right?
And to be honest, there's really like nothing there of like the new stuff. Like I go back to like a lot of Jay-Z old, Nas old, Lox
So
old.
I don't want to sound outdated. So my point that the answer to your question is, where's the next Biggies? Where's the next Jay-Z's? The next Nas's?
Do people look at Kendrick as that?
Close. Him and Cole is the closest thing to those type of. I mean, they're the way the work they've put in, they're heading in that direction, but they got a long way to go.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying.
Okay, what do you think about the guys like the Griselda guys, the Benny the Butcher type guys, and all of them?
Yeah, I definitely gotta tip my hat to that, because they reintroduced my style of rap that was popular back in my era, and they kind of I love it when somebody repackages the same product and it put it back out and people like, oh, this is dope. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. I love that. And it just gives me hope that, you know what I mean, I can, with my resurgence, I can have a profitable and lucrative run.
Right. Yeah. I feel like that style of rap, though, never truly gets old. The real, so it's like when you putting bars together and you giving it at a certain pace where it's still digestible, because there's some rappers that rap real fast, or the melody and the auto-tune hides the bars and all of that.
Yeah, with the melody part of the game has taken over. Before, in my era, it was kind of like you didn't want to try to stay away from that. And now it's to the point where you got drill rappers, you got the melodic rappers, you got the Rod Waves, you got the Dirks, you got the Nardo Wicks and all that, and they making a certain music that resonates with a certain crowd. The Griselda guys, they're more older, and they come from a certain era of rap that they cherish. Now you got some kids out here that's my son age, which is, he is a teenager, he's 16, and all he listens to is 90s hip hop. Like, you got people out there like that. Like, I don't mess with contemporary, I don't mess with Jay-Z, the boot camp clique, I mess with all 90s rap. Like, they dress like that, they listen to that, they live their life like, and they still in the 90s. So you got all these variation of people all in one big melting pot. You got the gangster rappers, you got the drill rappers, you got the weirdos, the skateboarders, the I'm Myself, the Logics, the, you know what I'm saying, the KK-47s, you got the Chance the Rappers. All these people are being accepted now.
Right. And you got the dudes like Triple X had Jones on his album that sound like 90s Jones, and then he had rock songs. Like, I was shocked.
Right.
You
so
know what I mean?
It's like, you could just be who you are and make your money. Whereas back in my day, you had to have that gangster aura. You had to have that almost that same storyline. I come from a broken home, and
so I want to mention this. I want to mention this because Ness, you know, he still had the gangster aura and all that type of shit. Right. He had the bars. But I'm gonna tell something on Ness. Oh, Ness came when Ness first came into the studio. Right. I'm usually shocked by this. A lot of people that I wouldn't expect come into my studio and they look at the things, the collectibles and things that I have, the comic books and shit like that.
Right.
And they're way more familiar than I would have expected. This man knew every name of every fucking thing that I had on my walls.
That's my era. That's my era. Yeah. I ain't scared of shit. I embrace my age. I was born in 77, the year of God. There's 2 sevens. So my whole era was the 80s. So we talking about He-Man, Thundercats, Transformers, G.I. Joe. This is before social media and where you could just watch countless man hours of shit on YouTube. Like we really had to play with the toys and go get them.
Right.
Make storylines up with ourselves. So I come from that era to where, you know what I mean, I was sheltered like the first part of my life because I come from a Christian family. So I was that kid that after I came in from school, I had to sit at the table till all my homework was done. So my only like recreation was toys. You know what I'm saying? Because like if I had like a book report or something to do, like my mother would make me read the whole book back and forth and then do the book report. By the time I finished, it was probably like time to go to bed. And so all I would have was my toys. So that shit became like novelty to me, and I was always a fan of Greek mythology. And the Greek mythology, if you know anything about Greek mythology, is kind of like superheroes is like almost like,
same thing.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
But that speaks to your intelligence or reason why your bars are so intelligent.
I was getting ready to say that too, because a lot of people who grew up with that kind of because it take a crazy imagination to play with toys,
right?
Like especially when you by yourself, like you be in there talking to yourself and all that shit. Like it's creative. It's kind of like freestyling a little bit.
You gotta understand, like, see, people might see this and be like, yo, he weird as shit, but you gotta understand, my era, that's what it was.
Yeah,
right.
That's exactly
like that
what
was
it was.
hip.
We ain't had no other options.
Like it wasn't nothing. It wasn't no iPhone. It wasn't nothing else. It was that.
Right.
It
You
was
set them army
G.I.
men the
Joe.
fuck up. You set your Indians up, and we over here like, no, he dead. I just shot him to flip him over.
And then wrestling came until when niggas was like making their own belts, going around neighborhoods
with aluminum
wrestling
foil
for
and the cardboard.
That's real shit.
Like, this is my era.
And the sad part about that is that for real, when you mention shit like that shit was actually live and really like missing that kids don't get to experience that. And now they only get to go do it on Fortnite and some digital shit, which is cool. Don't get me wrong, that's
but
cool.
it's different.
But it's so different from me being in front of my porch, Dev having all the Indians, I got all the army guys. We got like different little cars, trucks, tanks, and we set up for that shit was like
But
live.
you're not going to appreciate it unless you was there. Like I don't know. See, you know what I mean? A lot of people, I don't know.
I'm there with you. I'm right there with you. Age, I'm right there with you. Yeah, we all in the same
era.
Saturday mornings was everything to me.
Yes.
You remember waiting the night before and they show you all the shit that's about to come on and you up like a motherfucking kid on Christmas, like, I can't wait till this come on.
Word.
And then this. And then this. Oh, wow. You know what I'm talking about?
I remember G.I. Joe used to come on right after the Transformers.
It was everything. It was like, and then a little time after that, it became horror movies. Jason, Freddy, Chucky, Michael Myers. Like, but the first introduction was Star Wars, Marvel, DC, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, like Power Rangers. Like, that's my era. Right. So it's not weird. That's all the fuck we had.
Yeah, word up.
That's all the fuck we had.
Niggas,
it was either that or you was in the streets doing what the fuck, whatever was at the climate then. But in my home, that's all I had. That's all they gave me space to do.
Nah, that's dope.
It's
man.
niggas that was in the streets that was still fucking with
Oh
Transformers.
yeah, that's a listen, bro.
That's heavy.
When the Transformers, the movie came out and Optimus Prime died, it was like Malcolm X died.
Yo, you cried?
That's how Dev
I ain't crying.
I didn't cry, but I felt some type of way. Like I wasn't nowhere signed a bad boy when Biggie died, but I felt the impact of his music. When I heard the news, I was like, that's fucked up.
I think I shed a tear like when when Biggie died. I probably
So-
got emotional.
So it wasn't that type of crying, like, but I'm like, this is somebody I watched for the past 8 years. He done saved countless lives. This nigga died.
Right.
Hey yo.
Nah, that's G shit.
No, you want to know the craziest part though? The craziest part about what he's saying is when you a little kid, you think time is way longer. He said he done watched you for 8 years. Really, that nigga died after like 2 years. Just for the niggas out there and shit like that. Yeah, man.
I wanted to ask you a question, right? I want to ask you a question that's kind of like on my mind while we like on the subject, right? Because it's something that's been on my mind. I just want to see what you think about it. Flat out, see, like how you yo-yo with that freestyle and that intro. Like I just feel like some MCs like really like bar for bar be like flat out on a different level, like on a different tier with the rap shit, right? But then I want to ask you on your opinion when it comes to like writing bars, right? A rapper, a raw rapper, because I think of so many, Joel Ortiz and different people that was just phenomenal, like barsmiths, right? But then I want to ask you, what do you feel as though is the difference with that and writing records, songs, and if so, if you feel it's a difference, like which one is harder and why? I want to ask you that.
Good question. Bro.
Yeah, I want to get that from a real spitter.
I'm gonna say it like this: where the freestyle is more loose, you can jump from subject to subject, and it's okay, it's approved. With the song is more concentrated. You have to stick to a subject,
a concept, and even if you're telling a story, and even if all 3 verses are different variations of the point you're trying to get across to your listener. So I think over the years, it's been watered down to the art of making the actual record where people just get up and start having fun, and if it feels good and it resonates with the crowd, it becomes a hit record. But when I was coming through the game, you couldn't pinpoint what a hit record was because the internet hadn't fully moved in. Like, people go to the internet now for their information faster than they go to, whatever,
anything
shit we used to go to.
Like, you don't know who got shot in the hood before it come on the news at night.
Correct.
On your gram. Rest in peace, this person. Oh shit, what happened?
Right.
And then they'll play it like, yo, this 27-year-old man gets shot 5 times. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's my man, but I seen it 8 hours ago. I know he's been passed. But what I was saying is, writing a record is kind of harder because you have to stay to a certain topic, whereas a freestyle is more loose and you can jump from subject to subject.
Right.
But the second part of your question is, the reason why I catch every beat, because if you know anything about music, is everything is 4.
Right.
Everything. Melodies is 4. Everything lands on 4. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't care if you speed it up, hyper speed, you slow 1, 2, 3. Everything is 4. So it's certain beats per minute that every song has. And I just write rhymes to all those beats per minute. Right. So no matter what comes on, I have a rhyme that fits right in a pocket with the beats per minute.
Right.
So it could be Devinwade, it could be a jingle off a fucking Fruit Loop commercial. It still applies to musical laws. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. So long as you can fit words in there, you can rap to anything.
Yeah, and I only ask because sometimes it really baffles me and blows my mind when I see like phenomenal niggas like you, like I said, Joel Ortiz, and just different artists who's been in the game and they top notch with this bar shit. But then you'll see another nigga just make a regular record and it might have a catchy hook. Or a little nice beat, and the bars is like really like subpar, lukewarm, and the shit fly through the roof.
To answer that question, there's really no one chosen answer, because somebody can start rapping from 2 months from now and then make a catchy hook and make a dance to it and be more successful than I was in my whole 20 years racking my brain for fucking bars.
Right.
And that's just the climate we in. But the answer to your question is just, I got a passion for creating, and I love writing, and I love the wordplay, and I love the master. Like, I love the technicality of it all.
I think everybody know it, though.
Lining the syllables up and
so
all that.
So let me ask you: does it bother you ever when people can't recognize the art and the craft of it, the syllables, and how you rhymed the whole sentence together on this part? You ever have somebody listen to your rap and they point out the part that's the bar you don't give a fuck about?
Yeah, it's always like that. One of my biggest records was like a Frankenstein of a record. It was like, I don't see, and the way they do it in Bad Boy, right? And this is how I learned how to write fast and create fast. So when we doing a Bad Boy record, under Puff's tutelage, we write 5 verses for the first verse, 5 verses for the second verse, and another 5 verses for the third verse. And then they pick the best verse out of all those verses. So now you got 12 of the surplus 16s that they're not using.
Damn. And
then on top of that, Puff, I don't really like the beat. Well, that's why you here. I want you to write to the shit that you don't like. So so absorbing that information, going further to my career, I just would get all the beat CDs, and then I would do a 16 to all the beats, whether I like the beat or not. So now when I'm doing a feature, it takes me 5 minutes to knock out the feature because I done already wrote to 27 instrumentals off the track, off a beat CD, ones that I didn't even like.
Right.
So now when I get a beat from a feature that I don't like, I don't like it. That's easy. I always write the beats I don't like. And I can use some quality material because I'm already used to writing beats that I don't like.
Right.
So that's certain exercises that I used to give myself just to keep my pen sharp. And that's why I don't really invest in artists, is because if I have to force an artist to write material, that's your job as an artist. You're a reporter. So people want to know your take on everything at all times. Right. What's up with the COVID shit? What's up with the vaccine shit? What's up with the 5G conspiracy? What's up with this? What's up with the violence? Right. So if you don't have an answer, or you don't have a rap or some type of composition for that, then why are you a rapper?
Well, then I got questions like that. Okay, check this out then, right? Everybody knows me as Mr. Devinwade, Mr. Dev Nasty, Mr. Choke Your Mom Out and Choke Your Pop Out.
Right.
So this man right here, along with his brother Fred, was choke each other, Mr. Choke each other out.
Yeah, Chokey Johnson.
It's crazy that if you grew up in those 2000s, right? I don't care what age bracket you was in though. You could have been 10 to 20 or 20 to 30. It didn't matter. Making the Band, was that Making the Band 2 though? Officially, that's what it was?
It was the second season.
Yeah, so
no, it was the second installment.
That's what I mean. Season 1.
Yeah, season 1.
So Making the Band.
You talking about the fight, right?
Yeah, but period. Just the whole thing. It was still 2 because the first time it was like Old Town, right? This time it was hip hop. They brought P Diddy to to MTV,
right? And
this show came out, and this show was a phenom. You know what I'm saying? Real quick, before I even get into this part, where did you try out for that, John?
Philadelphia. At Philadelphia, first at the 5 spot and then at the Trocadero.
I was there. I thought that I was going to get picked because I was just motherfucking Source unsigned hype. You couldn't tell me nothing. I was Source unsigned hype. I was like, oh nah, I'm gonna eat these niggas. Them niggas ain't even let me rap, nigga. I went up there.
They got like 30 seconds, right?
Yo, bro, listen. My man came with me, right? He don't rap at all. He just a street nigga. Okay. But he got the look. He like, yo, on some funny shit, I'm gonna just go up there. We went back to back. By the time I get the yo, thank you, you done. My man went up. They actually let this nigga rap for like 2 minutes. This nigga, but he really looked the part. The chains,
that's part of it.
Yo, so what the fuck he say?
Bro, he was just rambling.
Did they? And they loved him?
No, looks far
they
away.
end up sending him.
Looks go far away in this industry. Man.
Well,
there's a lot of people.
Did you run into high millions? Did you run into millions?
Yeah, I ran into high millions. We actually did music after the show and shit like
that. Nice. Okay. Yeah, that's my dog.
Yeah, and that was big for Camden back then because Camden didn't have nothing like on screen. But that was such a legendary thing, and it really took over TV.
High Millions was that person you talking about?
High Millions was from Camden, New Jersey.
No, but was it that the person you talking about they let rap for 2
minutes?
No, he said somebody he came with.
No, shout out High Millions. High Millions was really a rapper. Nah, it was my man.
High Millions made it to New York. He made it to New York. He made it past Philly and went to New York.
Yeah. But this thing was a phenomenon for anybody that really don't know about how big this show was and the fights and things like that took place in there. So many things.
Right.
You realize that you have a fist fights, things that happen between brothers all the time that is a part of not fucking hip hop culture. It's a part of pop culture, my nigga.
Yeah, it is.
You know what I mean? Like everyone knows the choke fight to stop grabbing me. Why you trying to grab me, right? And everybody knows Dylan.
Listen, I coach football in Philly for a long time. So a lot of the kids say that they say it all the time, but they don't know what it's from. They say Dylan because I spit hot fire.
Oh shit,
they
don't know
say it all the time.
It's crazy. Yeah,
they don't know that it's from that Dylan's from Making the Band.
Catchy shit is staying around, man.
How did you feel when you seen Dave Chappelle do that, John? Though
I don't know if I told Devin this the last time I was here.
I don't think so.
Well, the story happens is, I don't know if you watched this show, but Dylan had a kind of like a reputation for not showing up for shit. So we would have certain events and meetings and rehearsals, and he just wouldn't show up, even if it was paid dates. Like if he was actually getting paid, he would not make the plane and show up to a paid date where we getting paid.
Right.
So it got to be a thing where when Dylan don't show up, we break down his cut.
Okay.
Evenly amongst the other band members. So when it came, we had so much of a big impact. Dave Chappelle was actually a fan of the show. So he called Puff and called us, and then we agreed to do it. And when the time came to tape, the day of taping, Dialine pulls a Dialine, don't show up. He actually doesn't show up for the tape.
Dave
That's
Chappelle shit.
insane, dog.
So Dave Chappelle said, don't worry about it. I'll play him. And that's how we got that.
Hold on, bro. Hold on, wait.
Yo, that's
Hold on, wait.
That's a legendary story right
Hold
there.
on, wait. What? Hold on, no. Why didn't he show up?
That's just Dialine.
Late, nigga, again. You mean why?
It's just
He ain't no
Dialine.
excuse for the first 10 late times.
It's just Dialine.
But Dave Chappelle Show was the biggest thing on earth.
And he just didn't show.
And some niggas
my.
just be them.
But it
that
also
show you
made-
that niggas
it
be
made
them.
him a pop of culture not showing up. By him Dialine.
Yeah, he's famous
by
forever.
By him playing him, it made him pop culture forever. Dialine. But he just didn't really show up. But don't feel bad. He wouldn't show up to paid dates. Like we actually get 20,000 to do a performance, and
Yeah.
he wouldn't get paid.
Damn.
What was he doing? To Dialine. We gotta get Dialine.
Then
What was this week?
the other
bring
boy,
Dialine
the
on.
other boy. I know you used to. Did you used to run into the other boy? Because he started hanging around here too when he was running around with Wag. When Wag was in Memphis, he started running around with Chopper. Heavy, and Chopper was up in here, like up in Camden, heavy. He was coming down here, heavy. And I don't know if y'all had a relationship from there, if he was coming to Philly or
With
whatever.
Chopper?
Yeah.
No, but back at that time, we had a little internet, little tug of war we had. And we
Okay.
was like really going at each other back then. But you gotta understand back then, like as far as the group wise, they always it was 6 of us. So the 2 girls was together. They would put Dialine and Fred together, and they would put the youngest and the oldest, which was me and Chopper.
Gotcha.
So it was like little brother, older brother type of thing going on.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
And that's what I was going to ask was I wanted to ask what is currently the relationship between the band members from that time period. Like,
Everybody is cool. Every year since us being off TV and being dismantled, some promoter has come and try to get us to do a reunion tour every year since 2002. Well, 2003 since we came out with the album, and it just don't come to fruition. And due to the same problems that we was having when we was on TV recording a reality show, just egos and separate managers and just different input, and it just sometimes it just. And I feel silly sometimes because I always be a big purveyor of it. Like, let's do it. And I think like we could have just did what these other groups did. And I ain't even talking about successful groups. I'm talking about bad groups. Groups that never really had no success and still torn to this fucking day. Right. So I look at it like we left a lot of money on the table because we had a big impact and people know us. And we could have been torn since the day we got dismantled. But for certain reasons, certain band members don't want to do it. Some people just trying to put them days behind them and they don't want to had that same notoriety as being attached to that anymore.
Listen, man, I'm gonna just say y'all attached to it. It was actually something super dope.
Yeah, we in juniors. We up on the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Like they calculate our walk, how long it was. Like when you go to juniors restaurant in Brooklyn, as soon as you come in, we're on the Wall of Fame. It's documented. It's like
Now but that brings me to a thought, man. And this is how I felt at the time. Rap was so serious. The rappers that was out, everybody was serious. You had Rough Riders, you had motherfucking like everything was so serious. And you had people that was really genuinely from the hood, whether it was Babs, Bunny, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Ness is from Philadelphia, that's this area right here. You had Chopper from New Orleans and all of that, like all of these kids from the hood. And in my opinion, and you could tell me what you felt, in certain ways that Diddy showcased everybody and some of the stunts that was done, it was no way. I felt like it was counterproductive.
It was
to making the artists work out because the regular public. We supposed to see y'all like superheroes.
We talking about the physical workout?
I'm talking about
the hazing.
I'm talking about the hazing.
Yeah. Okay.
Because see, if people watched, and I'm gonna say this, as great as Biggie Smalls is, if we watch Biggie Smalls get hazed and have to do little things and get yelled at on camera,
it would take away the magic.
Yeah.
Yes, it would. It wouldn't be the same thing.
No, I agree with you.
So it literally made us, bro, when we watched the show.
The energy was not good.
The
energy wasn't good. The energy that came off of us being hazed in front of a public in that way,
right?
The way the hip hop was going, it just didn't fit. It didn't match,
right?
And so it looked like we was kind of like kids, but we was all in our 20s.
So hold on, it's a question. Do you think Diddy knew that?
Nah, I didn't think. I think he did it unsubconsciously.
Do you think it was more like for like the entertainment?
No, everything was being winged. Like everything, even down to the cheesecake. Like if you go on my page right now, you'll see the infamous cheesecake walk. It was like, yo, we want to get in the studio. Well, shit, I don't got nothing for y'all to do right now. Y'all gotta give me some time. Walk for cheesecake. By the time y'all come back, I should have some shit for y'all to do. It was uncharted territory. He didn't know what was going on. He didn't know what else. Everything was being. We just winging it. Like, oh shit, they're here. Fuck. All right, go walk. Take a walk. By the time y'all come back, I had some shit for y'all to do, because, like they didn't have no structure. He just made the deal with MTV and the camera start rolling.
Got you. Because when we watched the show,
you gotta understand at this point where he was trying to refurbish his whole image. Right. He was coming off the heat with the J-Lo shit and all that. So like he wasn't really. His name was kind of stained in hip hop during that time. So MTV kind of gave him a new makeover within the public eye by giving these hopefuls from the street, these raw talent, a chance to make a full-fledged album on a historic hip hop label such as Bad Boy. So he was going through trials and tribulations the same time we was. So it was like MTV, yo, what the fuck y'all gonna do with the kids this week? He like, shit, I don't know. I got so much other shit on my plate. Fuck it. Just come on, just have him come in the studio and roll. We just going fuck it. We just the vibes. Like
it's so as dope as it made a television show and entertaining, right? To me,
but not
this is my opinion. Yeah.
People bullshit because people do this shit every day. Everybody, you walk for Cheesecake, nigga. You work at UPS. No disrespect to anybody that works there.
I get it.
But you get up 7 o'clock every fucking morning and go to a job where they break your fucking back for the least amount of money you can make.
With no opportunity.
But motherfuckers say, yo, you doing your thing. I did it one time and people like they want to clown me to the rest of the fucking minute.
I seen you say that and I was like,
that shit is true.
But motherfuckers get up 365 days and commute to a fucking job
all year long,
an hour, and then work at a fucking job where they boss do the same shit that they see.
And I definitely do it on TV.
Yeah,
motherfuckers that work for UPS on TV.
No, that's a fact.
They tell us that that's one of the things.
It's not even UPS. I don't even mean saying UPS.
No, but you just picked a regular job.
What I'm trying to say, when you work somewhere that you don't want to work because you got to pay bills and take care of your fucking self and your family, you're working for fucking Cheesecake.
Right.
Don't tell me different.
And they say that shit kill us.
When you go to college and you try to get in a fraternity, what do? They haze you.
Yup.
So people try to make it seem like shit that we did is like we never seen that done before. It
but the thing is, people don't really feel that way. They're just that's the only thing. It's the low hanging fruit. Even when you go to a job, what did you have? An orientation. We have to show you the ropes.
Shit,
we don't know about how Rockefeller does it over there, but this is how Bad Boy does it.
Some people do internships, which is free. Yeah, free work, volunteer work.
Right.
So all the haze, I don't want to hear that shit. Y'all do that shit all the fucking time. Y'all just don't notice it. It's just we did it in front of the camera in a certain way, and it was bad. It was like it wasn't good. It wasn't hip hop enough. It wasn't rebellious enough. But y'all do that shit in real life.
Yeah. But let's say when that album dropped, people was blown away because people did not know the actual talent level of the individuals that was on that joint. And when that shit first came on, like the first song was like a darker John Low joint.
Right.
And Ness was on that joint rapping. And I was like, hold on, yo. Just a little something to get her from A to B.
Right.
Like it's just the way that I said, hold on, these niggas is real rappers. And not for nothing, Chopper surprised me the most.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because so the only thing I could compare it to in that time, I was like, yo, this nigga Wayne. Like
no, he was definitely going in that direction. That's definitely where he was aiming. He would love for you to say that.
But it was real. But this was also before Wayne became the best rapper alive.
The best rapper alive.
Wayne. This dude, so at that time, he had a little bit more of an East Coast influence. So at the time when I heard him, this is back then, y'all. Don't think I'm crazy. I was just like, he like Lil Wayne, but more like for us.
Yeah, but see, you know what I'm saying? See, Chopper was from New Orleans, but he spent a lot of time in Baltimore. He had a manager that was from Baltimore, so he did a lot of moving around. So he was able to absorb a lot of styles and a lot of different people. And people don't know, Los that was signed to Bad Boy King Los, he actually tried out for making the band. And when he found out that it wasn't a group, he went home. And then Puff brought him back way after, we was off TV and I had got my second solo deal. Like I seen him up there. Like next time I seen King Los was up there when I battled DNA at Summer Madness 2, which is like the best battle event in history. That's when Loaded Lux came out with the infamous casket against Calico. So and Puff was up there with Q-Tip, Busta Rhymes, and Mickey Fax, and then King Los was up there, and I'm like, oh shit, Los back with Puff, but like he also tried out for the group too, and he was one of the first people that tried out because people don't know they did a second talent search. So they did it one time, and that's when they got Chopper and like the bulk of it, but he didn't feel as though he had enough talent to move further with the competition and really built the group. So they did it a second time, and that's when I tried out for the second time at the Trocadero. But by that time, I already had befriended Jay Black, which was a program director for 103.9. And that's who MTV chose to do the competition we're here in Philly, was with 103.9. So when he got the call, he just, yo, come out and audition. And he was like, you know, I'm already gonna give you my vote. You just gotta impress the MTV executive, and you gotta impress the Bad Boy executive, which was Horace Pierre, which is the senior vice president at the time. So I only had to win over 2 motherfuckers out of the 3. And once I did that for the second time, then that's when Puff selected me, and then he kind of built the group around my voice and my skill set.
Got
So,
you.
know
So that's why you was like the captain of the group and everything like that. Was that kind of what some of the frustrations or beefs with the other members at the time was around, was the fact that there was a designated leader?
Yeah, it was kind of like showing a little favoritism, but like I had talks with Puff like way before I made the group. They was coming to me behind the scenes telling me that I had a big future up there. So they kind of gave me the group as my first task at hand. Make sure they come out, they do well. You almost promised a solo effort.
I mean, let's be honest though. I mean, to me, like looking back on it,
so it's based like that show is kind of like paying my dues,
right?
To forward my future up there. So once we came out and we went gold, mission complete. We sold over 500,000 units. We had a big impact. We Billboard we debuted on Billboard at number 2, and as far as the show, we was one of the biggest all black reality casts ever.
I could see you getting that position.
And we beat out the Osbournes. When me and Fred had the fist fight on TV, we beat out the Osbournes that night in ratings.
Osbournes was a real big show. That was big.
That was the mom with the red hair, right?
Yeah.
It was wildin'.
My thing is like, I just feel like you was, and it's not me saying this shit because you right here right now, because we don't do that. Like, but you was like the best there. You was
lyrically,
to me,
I was the best there, but hip hop had evolved and the South was real big, and that's why Freddie's presence was required and Chopper's presence was well required, because Chopper had that New Orleans bounce, and then Fred had that Miami type of grit.
Right. It was different.
It was the South was just running hip hop. You had Bone Crusher, Lil Jon and East Side Boys, T.I., fucking David Banner, Lil Flip. So they had. That's why it's more South rappers in the group than it was East Coast rappers.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So they had to be there.
We still struggling with that.
They had to be
we
there.
still struggling with that. You know that.
I thought it was just the Philly bias, like the area bias, because we all felt like Ness was the best.
Now I was the best lyrically, but hip hop was moving in another direction. So for Puff's vision of the group was to be the next Fugees. So he had to have different pieces. That's why he added Dollaz as the wild card with the reggae, because he just wanted his new version of the Fugees, a younger version.
And what was the white girl name?
She wasn't white.
White? What
she
you
was
mean? She was
She was
light-skinned,
mulatto.
Okay.
She
had white. She had some white in her though, right?
Listen,
She was mulatto.
She had some white in her.
Sarah, she was white and black.
No, but
She
it's
was white
mulatto.
mix.
Mulatto, the word. Her name is Monica
Nah,
Mulatto.
but she was from pure.
Listen,
she was from
mulatto,
Port-
model.
No,
it
you're
was
right.
white in there.
She was from Port Huron, and what's the crazy thing about it, the time that we all got selected to do the boot camp version of the competition before we actually got picked, that's when 8 Mile came out. And I don't know if you know, but if you watch the last scene of 8 Mile, Sarah is in 8 Mile.
What?
Yeah, she's in 8 Mile.
I ain't think that.
Sarah's in 8 Mile.
You heard it here first. Listen, don't act like y'all come here and get special fucking gems I never heard
She
before.
doesn't have a talking part. She's one of the extras when they battled in the shelter, and when Eminem is sitting down waiting for Papa Doc to respond, and he chokes,
Right.
there is Sarah.
She ain't had to like show her
Got curly
titties or
hair
nothing. Cause we know another girl.
She's just
We
going
know
like-
another girl.
Yo,
I'm just checking because we know girls who had to
That's
like
it.
show like some breasts for a little quick clip to get love.
But I'm telling that story to tell you the mind frame of everybody that was involved in that competition. You got to understand. 8 Mile came out, so it was to lose yourself. You only get one shot. So we all was there. That was like the backdrop to our fucking competition.
Right.
The lose yourself record. Like, yo, we gotta lose our fucking self.
Word.
But we ain't going to fuck home. And I don't know the pressure that I don't think the fans knew that was put on us every day. It was like every day you could be getting a ticket to go to Penn Station and go to fuck home. Oh, I don't like how you dress, Ness. Yeah, here with your ticket, Penn Station.
Right.
That way. Oh yeah, you lost the battle, Penn Station. Or where LaGuardia? However the fuck you want to get home. Here's your fucking flight. You out of it.
Damn.
So I lose a battle, they be like, yeah, Ness, all right, you gotta get the fuck up. What do you mean I gotta get the fuck up? Yeah, you lost the battle, such and such, get your bed tonight. You gotta sleep on the floor.
Oh yeah.
So it was like every day was your last, every minute was your last.
That's part of the hazing too.
No wonder them bars you was putting down was vicious. You wasn't trying to get that floor.
Niggas was like, so even came down to the fight, even then when we got selected. And I don't know if nobody know, everybody that got selected, me, Babs, Chopper, Sarah Dollar, we all sat on the same side. Like, we all got picked at Mr. Child's, the famous restaurant in New York. So all the people that got picked, unwillingly knowing we all sat on the same side. All the losers sat on the other side.
Damn. Like it was just meant to be. Like y'all was just attracted to the winning
that
energy.
was crazy. Damn. So we all came from different backgrounds, and a lot of people don't know I was on a run actually being on the show. I had just came home from a drug charge that I had lost in '99, so I did a year in jail for a drug charge, and I came home in 2000, and I was on probation for two years until the competition came, and up until that time I had went AWOL on my probation officer. So I was actually on the run on the fucking show. So I was up there and I was scared to go back home I had to get a point. So I had to tell the staff to reach out to Puff to write a letterhead to let me continue on with the fucking competition.
Because the show obviously gets recorded beforehand. So while it's airing, it's not like they could come to the house and find you.
Right. So basically what I'm saying, everybody that say, yo, you did this and you did that and I wouldn't have did that and you went out like a sucker. Fuck you niggas. I was on a fucking run from the fucking Commonwealth of Philadelphia. Making a band and walking for Cheesecake and doing that shit up there with them niggas was the best thing that life could ever fucking offer to me.
Yeah.
Cause I know what was waiting back in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
A fucking cell.
Niggas was spreading their cheeks in jail.
Yeah. So niggas like, oh, I wouldn't have did that, nigga. Well, I did. Cause I know what the fuck was waiting for me. Prison or death.
Right.
That shit saved my life.
Let me ask you another question. I just want to get here where I know that people want to hear some shit. Have you battled like your dream battle? Like your battle that like the guy that you want to like that you think would be just like the biggest thing for Ness on the rap battle scene? Have you battled that person yet?
I mean, I've kept a seed planted there for years. I think battle rap has just passed through me. And I think it's different talent. They look better. They're younger. They're energetic. And when they say it's a young man's game, it means that a young man can stay up more hours of the day than an older man can.
Right.
And that's what it means.
But that shit you do, I don't know. I kind of like gotta disagree to
I
a
mean,
certain
it's a
extent.
novelty act because there's so many styles and so many people from so many different regions has been introduced. You'll lose yourself in all the personalities and styles. And you got Saga, which is he don't even talk about gun bars. He's like a Christian rapper. Like you got Christian battle rappers now.
Right.
So it's like you even got it. It's so big now. The impact is so big. You got, I don't know if you've seen it yet, but there's people over in like foreign countries that's battle rapping in a foreign language with thousands of people in the crowd, and they're doing some foreign language and shit, and the people's going crazy reacting to every bar. So it's over in Russia. It's over in battle rap is like global.
Right.
To when I started, it was like, oh, we ain't fucking with that shit now.
So one last battle for a decent bag. Who would it be? One last battle for you. Decent bag. I'm thinking, have you ever battled? I want to just mention one name just because I'm here and we talk about it. Have you ever battled Arsenal?
Yeah, I battled Arsenal.
You did battle Arsenal.
I battled Arsenal before he really became Arsenal. I battled Arsenal in 2011.
So one last one. Who would it be for the big bag? Nice bag.
It would be Murder Mook. Like that's like my dream battle. But that won't.
I like
happen.
that.
That would never happen because
I like that.
Being that Philly is so much of a.
But y'all styles are similar.
But being that Philly is so political, none of these Philly cats, none of the Reed Dollaz and Joey Jihad, Cicero's, they wanted to partner up and be the Philly front. That was really kind of like going out to the world being that. So I shook the building. So I sided with a fucking New York battle rap team, Dot Mob. So I'm down with Murder Mook and T-Rex and all those guys because Philly didn't want to, I became the elder statesman that the young guys want to partner up with. So I said, fuck you young niggas. I'm going over here and make y'all mad and get with the New York niggas.
What is it about Philly though that we don't, it's like we kind of conditioned to not like shit. It's like we don't like something until other people.
They boo Santa Claus. They beat the Easter Bunny up. It's just Philly, man.
Yeah.
We do it to our own sports teams.
They booed Beyonce before. Like, I remember.
We do it to our own sports teams. We'll shoot you in the head if we could take a gun out on the field, drop one of them fucking catches, or miss one of them 3 throws.
They say Philly is the hardest market on the planet.
No, it is.
Philly tough.
It is.
So it's like we boo Santa Claus, man. Like Philly don't give a fuck. They only give a fuck when you're successful. And then it becomes a thing, oh, who did you help out? So it's like, you can't win, man.
But I notice a pattern. I notice a pattern with most Philly artists is, and the pattern is most of the guys that make it from Philly always go somewhere else to make it first. Like you went with Bad Boy. You look at Meek, he kind of went to Atlanta. You look at Uzi, he went to Atlanta. You look, it's like Philly artists always
Philly
go
really
somewhere
don't
else.
have no parent labels. Other than Gamble and Huff and Philly International, we really don't have no labels. There's no labels here. So nothing has been built or foundation hasn't been built here for us to be a mainstay in the music industry for
nobody
people
like
that want to get signed from a Philadelphia.
Nobody like
label.
a Charlie Mack never started like a label. Nobody like that.
I mean, they had management companies, but they never had a full-fledged label.
Right.
Now, when you seen Meek Mill do what he did in hip hop,
well, I can't. My bad. Before you say that, I gotta say it's changing, cause Bam got they got PNB Rock and they got Cleve Ward. So they started, but for some years you had to go to New York or even LA to get a deal. But now the internet that made it even playing field. You can do all your music in the comfort of your own crib, basement, grandmother's back room, and have a full-fledged career. You not even see the label one time. They just cut you checks from YouTube, social media, and all your content. So it's just different now.
Yeah, shout out Leaf Ward till he fired. And shout out Lil Kai from Jerome Street, nigga. No, nobody listen to that Jerome Street more than me.
You got labels like New Lane, but back in my day, you had Red Brick Syndicate, the iVegases, and all those guys up Frankfurt that was, you know what I'm saying, having their own labels and being black business owners. But we didn't have no Def Jams, no Capitol Records, no Rockefellers. Like, we all had to go up there. So now when it comes to somebody, like I said, somebody like Meek Mill that made it to a crazy level, and I think sometimes us being from this area, it's like harder for us to see it in the because niggas been watching Meek since the fucking but they
DVDs
played the game on him. You don't see all the complaining he been doing it lately.
No, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
It don't matter how high the caliber of artist you are. The game is the game. Like, I had Puff come and tell me, yeah, my suit got too shiny for hip hop. Where I was charging $2,500 to do club dates. Like, and this is Puff Daddy doing club dates for $2,500. But he was humble enough to tell me this shit and let me know, like, it's gonna be a time in your life where your stock drop.
Hold on, wait.
That's real though.
Wait, hold on. We gotta rewind this.
That's G shit.
I can't.
You
We
mean
can't.
25,000?
Yeah.
No, he said 2,500.
No.
$2,500 for Puff.
No. What year could this have been?
The year that we did the Source Awards. The year that we did the last Film Source Awards where the South reigned.
Man.
That Source Awards with Lil Jon and the East Side Boys, Window to the Wall. That Source Awards with T.I. and all those Atlanta artists ranked fucking.
And how much was he
airwaves.
already getting before that? Do you know? Like what area estimate? Ballpark figure?
You gotta understand that he went on the whole tour at Mason, Puff Daddy, and the Family. So I'm thinking it was a drop from tour dates.
Yeah. Fucking right.
I could have got Puff for 2,500. Oh my God!
Yeah.
Wouldn't have been P. Diddy. He'd have came in on P. Shitty. He'd have came in on his P. Shitty shit.
No, he told me, he said, Ness, we all got screwed. Me, Russell, this person, he went down the line. We all got screwed. You gotta get it right. And he said, I'm only one going to tell you that. Like, I'm a black business owner, and I got to go do shit for y'all. I got to go kiss babies and go to people bar mitzvahs and graduations and sit on the fucking...
They used to say that, though.
And go to fucking super sweet 16 parties and do shit for y'all shit to get played on Rap City. Like, it's a cost for y'all to sit there with Terrence and Roxy.
So do you
I gotta
think...
go shake hands and do certain backroom meetings with that for y'all to come out here and do y'all shit.
So you think Puff gets a bad rap?
Yeah, he do. He do. But he always kept it solid with me, and, you know, but nobody gives a fuck about that because I'm not a millionaire and I don't have this big label like an MMG where I'm flourishing a new talent. So nobody gives a fuck about the story if it doesn't end happily ever after.
Listen, Ness might not be a millionaire, but he's on his way. And you know why he's on his way?
Yeah.
You want to know why he's on his way?
Tell him.
Listen, man. Because we got these Ness Philadelphia cheesecakes.
Look, and you see, look, as soon as he mentioned cheesecake, you see what came around me, right?
It's a snack holding a snack.
The ladies,
Right
the ladies said they a snack for the snacks.
cakes with a cake.
Yeah, cakes for the
Tough.
cakes for the. Monica said put cake on her cake.
So okay, let me give you a brief summary behind the cheesecake. You know, everybody know about our infamous cheesecake walk from West 44th Street all the way to Junior's in Brooklyn.
Right.
So everybody just been from battle rap to everybody. Oh, I wouldn't have did that. So I said, let me find out a way to flip it. And this is the best way I could do it. And it's been lucrative. It's been growing. Everybody that's heard about it, they definitely want to taste it, or they want to put an order in, or I got orders for vendors and different catering events, and it's growing. So the awareness is growing, and I just, everything that people threw in my face as a negative, as of the last 3 years, I've just been flipping into a positive.
That's phenomenal. And maybe we could have some kind of contest where you could maybe eat this off of Nasty
Ness
Girl's
Philadelphia.
cheeks.
I think it's definitely. I just want to mention real quick, before we lose it, because it's something that you mentioned in the beginning of this, which kind of like leads back to this, and I want to point it out because I think it's so vital and important that you mentioned that.
Right.
But you mentioned something in the beginning about being on your craft as an artist, but not being at times, but the business not being right, and then the business affecting your craft, and then the
Right.
craft being right, and then or the business, or you being on the business, but then you ain't got no time for the craft, so the craft will be fucked up. But then you was talking about how like now you just in a good place, in a better place, and you
Right.
came back. You've really,
Yes.
you look focused. You seen focused. You back with like a new brand that's super witty for your brand. That just makes all sense in the world.
Right.
And I want you to like kind of like just
Elaborate on that?
Yeah, elaborate on that for the people, like for the business, how you tighten that up and how you made it make sense for both as an independent artist now, trying to like just go ahead and do what you supposed to be out here doing.
The way a person balances that separates the men from the mice. It separates the big boys from the little boys. And it's a crazy separator. And it takes a different type of drive for a person to balance those two. Have an evenly balanced handle on both those things and be able to progress in both those areas. And just for me, being around, Bad Boy for so long and hearing the stories, one story stuck out to me, D-Dot, which is the mad rapper. He did Benjamins.
My guy.
He did Benjamins for everybody not to know.
Shout out to D-Dot.
He told me a story. They all used to go to Howard, and Puff really got famous for throwing shows, like parties down at Howard. And one time they had a big show, and the fire marshal, was threatening to shut him down because the capacity it was overcapacitated, and it was like in threat of whatever their rules and regulations with the fire shit. So the fire marshal came in there and shit and was threatening to shut him down. And Puff, D-Dot told me Puff got down on his knees and kissed the fire marshal's boots with the mud and all the grease and fire shit on them. It was like, yo, I'll kiss your boots if you don't shut us down. And Puff really got down there and did that shit. And the fire marshal still shut him down.
Man.
But that's not the end of the story. But so D-Dot was like, I'm like, well, why the fuck you telling me that, D-Dot? Because I'm like, what the fuck is that? Like, he just kissed him. He was like, no, that's how far he's willing to go to win. Even if he don't win.
Shout out to D-Dot.
Like, Puff is a person that's going to throw it all on the table.
No, fuck that. Shout out to motherfucking Puff, because that's
fucking
great.
real.
Now, we have pride. We have morals. He don't. He wants to win at every cost.
Right.
He don't give a fuck.
I think we've seen that though in that video where he rants. You know the video that always go viral when he rants like I fucking did that.
When he banged the phone, he's like, I'm a savage.
Yeah. I think we've seen that.
That's what it takes to be loafed out like he is. And then that's what you want, that's what you gotta do.
Right.
And you gotta fucking decrease your sleeping hours, because you're never gonna be a millionaire getting 8 hours of sleep a day. That's how Puff is a millionaire. He lowered his hours of sleep. The more hours you don't sleep, the more hours you up thinking of how to get money.
Right.
So Puff will be up for 2-3 weeks at a time. No sleep. Closing deals, brokering this, opening this studio, mixing this down. Oh shit, the TV show, Bad Boys of Comedy. Oh shit, I gotta work on that shit. Oh shit, I got Danny Kane coming out. He doing 80 million different things. And you'll never go to sleep. So if you go to sleep, you're not making no money. You up, the gears is turning. I'm trying to get me some fucking money.
Nah,
I gotta
fuck
get
all
with these
that.
people.
Danny Kane was the shit, man. He shouldn't have dismantled that shit.
A lot of the time to be honest, when you say that, it's crazy that you say that, because a lot of time when he go live and do a little clip, that nigga look tired.
Yeah, he's tired.
He look like he's been up for 5 days.
He always tired.
For real, he do, right, GB?
Yes,
he look like, sometimes I'm
But
gonna
see,
fucked up. You on your shit, Puff. You clean up.
That's
but
when I made a
tired.
decision to myself. Yeah, I'm never gonna get the money. I don't want to sleep. I don't want to rest. I'm not gonna be sick the rest of my life chasing them big bags like he is. I don't want to have ulcers and be sick chasing that fucking money like him. He can have it. I'll celebrate him.
But I think that's
real.
dope.
That's real though.
I think that's dope to know yourself though. I think a lot of people struggle with that. That like for me, I'm like that. I tell Dev a lot of times, like, yo, I don't want to do all the work. Like, we need help. And I'm cool with help, like, eating with us, because I don't want to do everything. And I think it's important when people know their level and know their role and say, no, I'm going to stick to this.
Yeah.
Give somebody else that.
Yeah. And one thing I could say, too, bro, is you got the hardest thing from this area, and that's to be respected for your pen. Right, because in this area, everybody rap, everybody make music.
No, they do.
You got the hardest part locked down. When somebody associates and they say the word Ness, you already respect it for your pen. And I think that if you look at the landscape, we talked earlier about everybody that made it, that's the guys that's on top. The one thing they all got in common is they all got bars. Even if you're talking about Drake and Biggie. And everybody you named got that pen. They respect it for that pen.
They got bars.
So you already halfway there. You got the hardest part to get, and that's the respect for your pen.
Well, God gives everybody second chances, man. You just got to be real careful what you do with it. You know what I'm saying? I think this is my second run, and I feel I could personally say this is the best I ever felt. You know what I mean? Even though I'm not in my younger years, and the objective is to get richer as young as possibly you can, so you can live out the twilight of your life relaxing. But, you know what I'm saying, like, my story is not over. My story is not over, and I'm never going to give up. And I be seeing a little hating comments, Ness, give it up, and da-da-da. But what really brought me back to rap, and I honestly say it was the hatred. It was one of my friends saying, Ness, you might as well go get your CDL. I said, my name ain't the fuck what it is.
Right.
If I can't get on this fucking machine right here,
right,
and jump back in this shit. And I gave myself 6 months. And after the 6 months, my numbers was growing, the algorithm was growing. I was like, and I did that by watching others, the young niggas. So the same niggas that was telling me, yo, give it up, it's the same niggas I was getting energy and info and intel over and using it for my shit. And now the same niggas like, yo, you should have got your CDL. Ness, I'm happy you still, I'm proud of you, bro. Congrats, bro. That's how I go.
Yeah. And yo, to be honest, bro, like, just to add to what GB just giving you your flowers while you here, my nigga, like, you a brand. Like, you a brand. When people build themselves up to that point where, like, Ness, like, and that's why I asked you the question. I wanted to throw that question out there to get about the songwriting and just bars and lyrical ability and the difference, because regardless of what, like when it comes to like just lyrical bar spitters, bar for bar, like Spartans,
Right.
I look at you as like one of Philly's top notch nigga that's gonna always be mentioned. Like, all right, if they talking about songs and albums, of course they might talk about other niggas and some like, but when they go to like raw bars, lyricists,
Right.
MCs, like you're like,
Well, that was one of the reasons why
Right
I was
there.
kind of like spearheaded to be the leader of the group, because of my pen and my vast knowledge on certain topics, and Puff picked up on that. And being that, you know what I'm saying, English was my favorite fucking subject in school. So I loved reading and absorbing and comprehending the storyline or certain words. And
Smart niggas.
this is before I even got into writing raps. If I didn't notice a certain word, I would really go encyclopedia and go look it up.
Back when you had to do that,
So
yo.
when T.I.'s talking them big words, I know exactly what the fuck he's talking about.
Right.
Every last word, because if a word would stump me, I would go look it up. So that just helps you be a better lyricist, and it broadens your vocabulary, and you could talk about a lot of things and not keep saying the same things.
Yeah, but it's not just the bars, dog. It's the delivery.
Yes.
It's
It's
the
the delivery.
way
It's the
you
delivery.
do
oh
it.
no, that cadence is crazy. Well, like how you came in on that rap on the intro and then you switched it on the joint when you said
Right.
BBW, you did it, and I'm trying to see with the head like that when you switched it right there, and that shit was crazy.
Because I come from an era where showmanship mean everything.
Yeah, I know what Dan
When
said.
we paid to go see a show, we paid to go see a show. It just wasn't niggas up there rap. Hey, suck my dick.
Like, shots ring out.
Like when we go to a show, it was like, yo, I had a good time. That joint was nice, yo.
Nah, for sure.
They put on a good show. So
sure.
some of those characteristics, I went home with those. So when I switched to BBW, it's just
performing that
showmanship.
shit, you
It's the
feeling it.
showmanship.
Nah, that's fire.
Yeah, man.
It's fire.
It's the showmanship.
Yeah,
and for the fact, society has this thing about traditional good looks. So, coming up, I was a dark-skinned fellow. So, I wasn't the first choice. So I would have to find other ways to compliment that.
Curly head GB ass niggas.
Like, nah, swag is this.
Am I being serious?
Nah, real shit.
So I would have to, you know what I mean? When it was time for me to do those shine, I would use my ability.
Right.
So it's a question I want to ask you because you happen to be a person with a bald head. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'll just. It's not even a question. I'm gonna tell you.
No,
what
bald
you
head is way more maintenance than anybody that has hair on their fucking head. You want to argue? Let's argue.
Listen, it's way more maintenance. But if you want to make that maintenance easy, you know what you do? Make sure that y'all go and get a skull shaver. Make sure you go to skullshaver.com. You feel what I'm saying? You
Don't
go to
nobody get more haircuts than bald men. Don't nobody get more haircuts than bald men.
Exactly, and if you want to be able to get your hair cut, no nicks or cuts, you get a baldy in 90 seconds.
That joint is fire. I
Listen,
need that.
listen,
I
man.
need to get that.
You hear Ness, man. Make sure y'all go to skullshaver.com. That's all you got to do.
Skullshaver.
Skullshaver.com.
That nigga was great. Scaver.
Yeah, I was. You know what I'm saying? No, it's Skull Shaver. You feel?
I'm feeling real discriminated against right now. Like,
No,
I'm the
man,
only
you got
nigga,
the curly shit,
I'm
man.
the
You
only
always
nigga.
gonna have a lane, man.
All y'all niggas got baldies. All y'all niggas rap. Like, what the fuck is going on in here, man? This shit is like some discriminatory shit on it right here.
Listen, it's something I want to know because Skull Shaver gets me prepared for the battle with life.
Right.
But I want to know what how do you prepare? Like, what goes into preparing for a battle? Like, they give you the name, you going against this dude. What the fuck do you do to get ready for this battle?
My biggest challenge is, not saying anything I said before. Being in the game over 20 years, there's only a certain amount of ways you could pull up in a car. There's only amount of certain colors the car is in.
You shoot people a lot of ways.
For people laying down on the top of a building, on the side of a vestibule. So it's like almost you got to find creative ways to kill people and destroy people in their lives and their families. And you got to knock over the fish tank, kill a dog, eat the frog legs, kill a kid. You almost got to do more psycho shock value shit to even grab the listener now. So it's like almost kind of like horrorcore type music as far as battle rap is concerned. It's like almost thinking of the most disrespectful ways to embarrass your opponent.
Now, do you fuck with personals? Do you look for personal shit that you could say about people?
I'm Ness, so it's always personal with me because I come from the Ryu style of fighting. I'm always on defense, so I'm always rebuttaling or you did this, you off the chicken, you washed up, you old. So I'm always no nigga. Yeah. As far as like a Ken style, which is more offensive, like
you a counter battle rapper.
I don't give a fuck what you got. I'm always on the defense, like, oh, nigga.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
got you.
So it's like, but in the latter years, I've banded that Ryu and I just give them all offense now.
Do you ever want to punch? Do you ever want to punch people when they get like nose to nose and they sitting there like your grandma got herpes?
Some people don't. They don't have the good body hygiene, and then they already rapping in your face, and then they spitting, and spit might get on you. But then you sign a contract that you can't hit that person. And then if you hit them, you might not get your other half. We got bills to pay. We got kids. So I never asked for a battle ever in my life. Any of these, you see me in these battles, that was the league reaching out to me.
So do you think people use that to their advantage? Like if they know that you signed a contract where you can't hit them and now they do little things.
Yeah, they gonna say shit about your daughter, your kids. Like they
bump you.
Like if you don't really personally go to the battle rap that you're having a battle with and kind of come to some type of agreement of what you cannot and can talk about.
Right.
Anything's taboo.
And we've seen them do that.
Your daughter get thrown in there with cerebral palsy or Down syndrome. Like, niggas would do that.
Nah, I seen a joint with DNA and the bulls start talking about
his mom and all that.
Like being in a wheelchair.
She
like
gave me some crazy head. It was retarded and all that. With the retarded hand.
Ain't nothing wrong with retarded head, but.
Well, because he got head from a joint that was mentally.
I fucked a midget before. That ain't shit.
Yo, give me some that. Give me some that. My nigga. Give me some that.
Philly niggas.
Fucked a midget
Yo,
before.
Philly niggas love midgets. Real shit.
I got some big head that night.
I fucked a midget before.
Was it dope? Was it dope?
The midget?
Yeah, was
fire.
Ass was fat pride.
Fire.
Stuffy.
Trying to say.
Yo, GB, this is some Philly shit.
Yo, my bitch had a Peyton Manning head. Like,
I'm in the twilight of my life. I ain't got nothing to hide, man. I had some fire shot from a midget.
Yeah.
Damn. Nice.
Wow.
Ass nice. Top nice.
Did you have to help her get up on the bed?
No. She was self-sufficient on everything.
She brought a stool with her.
She was self-sufficient. Had her own bud, had her own bread, bought the grub that night and everything.
Midget and shit.
Yeah, Luke. Nice.
Pulled up playing 50, mini man.
She ain't looked funny. Like she still looked like she looked. You know how some look had that look. You like they got that look.
Right.
That little person look.
Yo,
and I'm not being disrespectful.
No.
I'm not being disrespectful. Respectfully, I'm saying, all dwarf people, they have that certain facial feature to them.
Yeah. I know what you're saying.
She didn't have that facial feature.
She just had the ass feature.
She just had the dwarfness.
I got
The body was compacted, but the face was regular.
Yeah, it was regular human face.
Did it make you feel stronger because you could like lift her up all day?
No, it just made me feel. It became me feel a little perverted.
Yeah, like when they
How small she is, but she's a grown woman.
Yeah, she's a grown woman, and it make your meat look huge. Like make your meat look huge, bro.
You got to be serious.
Hey, listen, Ness tried to keep his face serious. I'm gonna make the camera zoom in. He tried to keep his face.
But see, being in the music industry, that's not really nothing. That's not nothing. Like,
They do that all the time.
Yeah.
They fuck midgets heavy.
That's why Porta Rich.
He said they fuck midgets heavy. Yo, listen, man.
Shit.
Oh man, I love doing this show, man. It's like you get to sit across from people, man, that you fuck with, that you admire, they talent, they work, and everything like that, man. This shit went by quick than a motherfucking dog. Quick than a motherfucker, man. Listen,
fun, bro.
Listen, we salute you, Ness.
JB.
You know what I'm saying?
JB hit the midgets.
GB definitely
GB
fuck
hit the
with
midgets,
with
man.
the midgets, man. But we always bring out the wheel. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? We got the wheel out
got the
right
wheel?
now. Yeah, we got the wheel out, and we got that bread out. You know what I'm saying? Who gonna put a spin on this joint? You know what I'm saying?
Monica.
Put a spin on that thing.
Ness, you got some people right there.
Yeah. Let's see what we. Let's see what we.
They yours.
The paper.
What we
I
landed
wonder
on.
when it's gonna land on.
Oh, yeah, we getting big.
You know me, don't put shit on a pedestal. Hold a grudge and I won't ever let it go. Keep it distance from me, had to let him know. Got a taste of that shit, it's incredible. When I snap, I don't pose for the camera. Took a man and I know that shit damaging. Pussy wet, but he know how to manage it.
This is another episode.
Don't be singing on the plan, nigga, past that.
Another episode of the Devinwade Show, man. Thank y'all for tapping in with us every motherfucking week, man. Shout out to the whole crew and Ness for coming out this motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? Make sure that y'all go get that, you know what I'm saying?
You can't Wu-Tang better than me. Bet you can't throw it back better than me. You can't Wu-Tang
Listen,
better
man,
than me.
make sure if y'all support the channel, CashApp, $, Devinwade Show, we independent, you know what I'm saying? You know how we do it, man. Make sure that y'all check us out next week. Peace.
It's going where it's going. It's going where it's going. The money don't stop, so it's going where it's going. It's going where it's going. The money don't stop, so it's going where it's going, bitch.